It's a game called The Finals. It's a competitive team shooter. It's trending on Steam. It's in beta now. But some people, all they can focus on are the announcer voices, Gavin, because something didn't sound quite right to Gianni Matragrano. And now he is a voice actor from Evil West and Vertigo 2. He posted a clip that has gone viral that the announcer voices seem a little off. This is from, again, the Steam game The Finals, where they are, spoiler, using AI announcers.
Now, the Kingfish, the Jet Setters, and finally, the Powerhouses. And they are off! Welcome to Quick Cash, the team that tucks away enough money first triumphs.
Scotty said it. Let's see who's got the pace to ace this race. We've got our first elimination, Scotty. Talk about making a solid first impression on our sponsors.
Hold on to your Azult bucket hats, brought to you by Azult.
Some people were praising the game for the VO announcers because the fact that they're using AI and text-to-speech means you get some pretty granular call-outs, right? There's a lot of different team names and there's a lot of different scenarios, and if one team gets wiped out and there's only 30 seconds remaining, well, to have a voiceover artist record each and every permutation of which team got wiped out and what the standings are and who is where on the map, that might be a huge technological hurdle to leap. And so in this case, some people said, wow, these announcers, man, there's so many different lines. They're calling it constantly. Great job. Others are saying that it sounds so bad. It's pure dog water. Keep it off my game and keep it out of Steam. And some are going so far as to say now that they know it's AI, it was confirmed by the developers on a podcast. Now that they know it's AI, Gavin, never is the time that they will install and try this free-to-play game.
Okay, so there's a couple things I want to say about this. One is this is a communications problem first and foremost. You need to know, as a company that's going to do this stuff, what this is going to mean to your audience. You need to know how you communicate that and how you do it exactly. I think the other part of this is to every gamer out there, to everybody who has a problem with this, to every voice actor who has a problem with this, welcome to our reality now. You are in a situation where a game creator can see a line in a budget and they can see a certain amount of the actual performance be at a certain level. I just recently heard Nilay from The Verge say we're going to be a world filled with B- stuff. Even if this is a B- voiceover versus an A+ star of a voice acting, if you can get 10 to 100 times that amount of material, if not more, and it can be granular, Kevin, like you said, it can feel like you're in the moment. Even if the voice isn't perfect, that's a trade-off a lot of these companies are going to make. This is here, people are using it, and this is going to be the new way this stuff happens.
Gianni makes good points about the fact that as a professional voiceover artist, they get rush orders all the time. So if a developer is so inspired that they create a brand new game mode and they need 1,000 new lines of dialogue, there's a performer that's there and ready, and they'll fire up their booth and get their microphone ready and go. What is not said, though, is this reality that, and granted, the quality might be a B+ level quality, but that B+ is available almost instantly and can be iterated on infinitely, and it's going to be cheaper, at least now, with the way companies are giving away compute and giving away the AI tools. No matter what, it's going to be less expensive than a human performer that might have benefits and limited hours and certain restrictions on their level of performance, right? If they're
and
doing
in every language now. Every language. Right. Like, you can create a version of the finals in Spanish, in Mandarin, in French, in all these different languages, and it will automatically translate these voices. Now, you could do that with people that recorded voices, but you're still then using an AI tool to do it. But if you have an AI voice directly to AI translate, it's that much easier. I think my big thing is, I think you and I would both agree, we feel for these artists hugely, right? But if I am a game developer and I am looking down the barrel of being able to pay for another artist or somebody else who's going to work on the game, who's going to be a team member with me, and I can save $25K on voiceover, and I know it's going to be a game like the finals where you want to have all this voiceover, that is a choice that a lot of game developers are going to make, and I think people have to start to just feeling okay about it.
Well, so let me ask you this, Gavin, because the flip side of that is the voiceover artists and the gamers, the ones that are saying never, not in my Steam. In fact, if I can filter by AI, I would just auto-ban all those titles from my library.
They're NIMS, they're NIMSies. NIMSies,
right.
Not in my Steams.
They're naysayers, but the A has an I after it?
Okay, fair.
Naysayers? These never AIers, they will say, as long as we refuse to support any game that uses AI, which I think will get harder and harder to do as time goes on, honestly, but I'll digress on that. They're saying as long as we refuse to support it, then these developers, they will look at that line item and say, well, we could save the 25 grand, but we got to go with a human voiceover artist. We got to go with a human concept artist. We have to go with human labor because the gamers aren't going to support it. Do you think that argument holds water? Do you think that that sort of a economic protest, if you will, is going to hold up?
I think it holds water in the way that a plug holds water that is slowly leaking. What I mean by that is, like, you can only plug something like this for so long. It is not a perfect plug. And I think what you're going to have are smaller and smaller teams that want to do more and more ambitious stuff. Now, is there a world where the gaming mob could continually take down games that have AI in them for a while? Yes. Like, we want the old games the way that they're made by humans, and every part of it's a human, which they never have been for a very long time, because clearly games are technology plus human ingenuity. I just think that there is going to be no way to hold that off forever. It just does not make sense. The jobs will get cheaper. More jobs will get cheaper to do with AI. Eventually, you are going to have somebody that wants to make what used to be a $10 million game, and there's a version where they can make it for $1 million. And from a pure creative perspective, so imagine a game like Stardew Valley, which I'm a big fan of. We've talked about as one person's artistic kind of genius work. Imagine a game that was like 10 times as big as Stardew Valley, and it was still one guy. He would be able to scale and use AI tools to do that, and it would be great in a lot of ways. But until that is accepted, it's not going to be great in the eyes of these people, I feel like.
I have more to say, but I'm going to yield my time, Gavin.